Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you're all doing well. We have a new pack code to talk about. It's the Max 86 base hero, which has been added into the code as of September 29th, so that was yesterday. And I thought this was going to be on Sunday. I thought it was going to be on Sunday because usually our SBC day is on Sundays. I'm a little confused too because I'm like, is it too early to give a hero pack? Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it too early for this? Is it a feeling of the game is gone because we're already getting these packs? I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel. Now, EA is putting a Max 86 on it. And this year we have a lot of new heroes that are now into the game, that came into the game at the end of last year. We're going to go over that in a second. So it does make the pack quite more exciting. We're going to go over a little bit of everything, but the reason that I'm making this video for you today is the leakers and the accounts on Twitter. Everyone is saying this is happening tomorrow. So this is going to happen on Wednesday. And I think, if I recall correctly, maybe a little while back, that first Wednesday, we also had hero packs of last year. I don't remember. What I can tell you that last year, before we go into this, it was actually a Max 87 hero pack, guys. Okay, so that was what we actually got last year. I don't think we got a Max 86. I think it was a Max 87, if I remember correctly. But either way, regardless, last year EA required for this about 130K. You can see the timeline of when it dropped to about 130K. Like if you go back to SBCs and then you go to FC, is it going to load here on FC 25? Yeah, so let's go Max Hero. Let's search maybe. Is that not working? Max, let's go Hero. Yeah, Hero. No, that's not working. Okay. Expiry expired. Here we go. So if we go all the way back, it's probably going to be the first one. Yeah, it was a Max 87 base hero. So it was 131K, guys, early on, and that did give you 87. So it's something to consider. But what's something to also consider, and this is what people have been saying this year, the market for the heroes is actually a bit more expensive, just due to the reason that you have, I think, a lot more usability in different cards, and I think the better cards are a lot better this year, for sure. They're a lot better and more noticeable. So we have a lot of really good players available in this SBC. You can see here, Alawayron is a crazy one. Doumbia is not on the market. Gervinho, I didn't even know these guys are not on the market, but yeah, apparently they are not on the market. So we're going to go over all the players in this and kind of how to prepare, what I think is going to happen. I'm on PC. No, he's on the market. He's on the market. I don't know why they're saying they're extinct. They're on the market. I don't know if that's like a super outdated graphic, man. I don't know. They're on the market, though. But as you guys can see, obviously, not cheap, right? Not cheap. You have a lot of options in here that are definitely not cheap. Are Ramirez and Matuidi really still over 1 mil, though? Ramirez has got to be nuts at this point. Okay, Ramirez is not even on the PC market. What's his console price? 1 mil. So these cards are also down a little bit because it's in anticipation of this SBC happening. These are all of the cards available. I wanted to pull up the graphics so you guys could see. So you've got Dempsey, Scott, Doumbia. So like Scott, is it crazy? She does have Jockey Plus, which should be really good this year. Last year she was not usable because she was too weak. This year I think tackling is just a lot better as a whole. Dempsey is not who you want to see. Crouch is probably not who you want to see. Alawayron, Doumbia are crazy. Howard, I don't know. Gervinho is dope. Ibarbo, like obviously the dream, I think, with the addition of Gervinho, Ibarbo, and Doumbia is to get those guys. That would be the dream, right? Beasley, not so crazy. I don't think Cahill is crazy, nor Ledley King is crazy good, man. Anticipate 89 defending, 80 pace, so that's awesome. Yeah, I think this year the hero pack, though, is a bit more interesting. Like Williams, I think, is more usable. I didn't even know she had a 5-star weak foot. That's pretty nuts. Govu, definitely really interesting. Dirk Nowitzki, it's all right. It's all right. Capdevia is going to be very good. Matuidi is going to be very good. Canu, not so much. Ramirez, absolutely. And then Guti, I think, absolutely, especially with Incisive Plus, with how good that is this year. Because Incisive is just mental, how good it is. Park Ji-sung, maybe Park Ji-sung. Al Jaber, who's always a beast early on, but is really cheap. Carragher, not so much. Julie, I think looks okay, not crazy. I think Rise will be really good. Bonpastro will be really good. Riziki, not so much. Freddy's okay. Ole, not so much. Smolarek and Donovan and Keane, I think these three will be really good. So, as you guys can see, there's actually a quite bit of good icons available, not icons, heroes, sorry, in this. So I do think it makes things a little bit more interesting for this pack, whereas last year I feel like there was only like a few, that were really good. I felt like it was hard to find players that felt good last year. I do think more players this year in FC26 are usable. So in terms of this pack, guys, if it is 130K, we look at the prices of heroes right now, right? So, how many total heroes are available? I'm not sure, but you do have, a page on Flippin is about 30. So, you've got probably like 20 heroes if they do make it 130K that will be below that price. And then you've got probably 10 to 15 heroes above that price, right? You've got 3 over here. You've got 2 that are 1 mil. You've got a couple that are in that like 400K region. Smaller 300, Keen 300, Ledley King 300, Govu actually 400. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. So look, this is going to be a really completed SBC because it's going to be an early chance where some people definitely have some fodder. As you can see, what EA required last year was an 85-86 squad. So, I think people are going to be willing to submit that, especially if they've had a couple walkouts and packed a little fodder early on in this game. We're going to talk about 2 things now in the rest of the video. Number 1, how to prepare for this, right? So if we go take a look at the market, generally, we're probably going to see, people are probably going to look at it initially and be like, I need to invest in 85s, right? In 86s because of the squad requirements. So you take a look at the market, right? And, 85s you can see are definitely going up in the market. They were, 3K? And they're up 1,000 coins. So, like, the code got added yesterday. They're literally up another 1,000 coins today, which means people are buying these cards to prepare for the SBC. You can do that if you want. It's tough to say, I hate buying stuff that's inflated. What I remember early on in the games is that the fodder doesn't really go up that much. But what does actually happen sometimes is that, like, I feel like if EA does a certain requirement, or sometimes we actually see like, 87s you can see are up like 500 coins, but sometimes these high rateds actually go up a bit more because it's easier to just chuck in a few of these high rateds than use a full team of like 85s and 86s, right? So when we take a look at value plays right now, I'm not saying you should do it because, look at Gabriel. He was 9K, but he's 10K, and like maybe everyone goes and completes this and they buy a couple 88s to fill out that if it is an 86, 85. Again, we don't know what the requirements are going to be. But maybe there's some value in high rateds, it's definitely one of those where that could be something that props up a bit. I don't know if Harry Kane is going to move from like 17 to 21, but maybe there's some value there. Maybe an 89 would really help somebody complete that SBC if you get to the scenario where 86s and 85s, heading into the SBC are just so expensive that they end up not being the cheapest way to do it. 86s, you can see, are probably up 1,000 to 2,000 coins in the last week. Yes, they're up. And they definitely can go up more. Like, don't think this is the max they can go. They can definitely rise another 20, 30%. I'm just saying, if you're somebody that's investing for it, I would try to find something that you feel like isn't as inflated. So maybe it's playing high rateds and maybe it's playing 84s even because, people are going to have to buy some 84s most likely to submit the remainder of the SBC. And you'd look at 84 prices right now. These are still really low. 1,600 coins is a very low price for an 84. So maybe you club stock your club with 84s and you stock your club with higher rateds, man, just to prepare. You could also buy in. Look, again, we just looked. 85, 86s are not up that much. They're really not. So if you wanted to go for that too, you most definitely could. I don't think there's a best way to invest in fodder. If you have enough coins, maybe you cover a little bit of everything. So you cover every base. It's tough to say. And the $1 million question, I'm not sure, is this going to be an SBC that's repeatable more than once? That is the $1 million question, because recently EA likes to release a lot of SBCs that you can do more than once. So I don't know if that's going to be the case. But if that is the case, fodder will probably gradually rise just as the week goes, because if you can do it every 3 days, it's going to keep fodder pretty stable. Now, let's talk about 2 other things, guys. If the SBC is 100K early on in the market, I believe this will absolutely kill the market. A lot of cards about 40 to probably like 250K range are going to take a massive hit, bro. I think, because what you're going to see is that people will be willing to sell their players to finish out the rest of the SBC. So I know EA today in the store, I think they put like a tradable pack. Most meta cards right now are not really that down. Pina, obviously she's had some market madness recently. We know that, so she's probably not a great card to look at. Camavinga is definitely down a bit, right? In this price range, these cards are definitely looking like they're definitely down a little bit. But, most of these cards, it's like a Frimpong level card, right? You will probably see if this SBC is tomorrow, doesn't mean it's tomorrow. If there's not that much panic heading into it, I think there's going to be a sell-off. And you got to be careful because you don't want to buy in too quickly if the market starts dropping. We saw last year, this is one of those where when this does get released, it can really impact the market, and it makes sense. It's 150K SBC early on. People will sell their tradable players to go forward and take the gamble, and people, trust me, will take the gamble on this because this is worth it. You just saw the players that I told you that you can get. There's a lot of good ones, bro, that could change your team, and the first weekend league is this weekend. So people look at it in that way, saying, wow, I could get a hero for the weekend league. And look, regardless, people will still have to buy their teams back for weekend league. So that's something to consider, guys. If this SBC is tomorrow, that there is going to be probably a buy window tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, because Rivals Rewards will bring some coins back into the market as everybody got higher divisions, and people will continue to build their teams to get ready for weekend league. People also have to play more to get into weekend league. People have to qualify for it. So people will buy their teams back, I'm telling you, and the market will probably be up on Friday as we start the weekend league, most likely, guys. So that's something you could expect in terms of market. And one other thing you guys could watch, if we go back here and let's go to version and let's go to heroes, right? And then we'll go to max 86. One other thing you guys can be on the lookout for is this. So you can see here, Donovan is down like crazy. Rozicki looks like he's down a lot. Let's just look at these players that are like down percentages, right? But let's more look at like players that we think are going to be a lot harder to pack. So Guti, I think, would be not that easy to pack. Captavia, maybe Govu. I mean, Govu was just 380, right? I don't know if I just changed it to PC. So there's going to always be more panic on console than there is on PC. But Ledley was how much the other day, right? Can I get a graph here? No, maybe I got to change it. Maybe it's glitched. Let's just look at console. So he's 280 and he's down 13%. Okay, so he was 310. He's 280. That's not interesting enough for me at this point to consider to buy. Govu is 370, and what was Govu? Govu was like 460, bro, and now he's 420. So what you guys can see, well, what's happening? No, my glasses just broke, bro. All right, I'll fix them after the video. So Captavia, these meta cards, right? These cards are going to be harder to pack, but what happens before this SBC is everyone thinks they're going to pack them. So they sell them, whoever has these, just in anticipation of the SBC. What happens a lot of the time, guys, is that after people complete the SBC, you can see Risei was 130. He's down a little bit. What will usually happen is that these cards will actually go back up. As people don't pack them, a lot of times these cards will rebound. So that's another thing you can consider. I don't think the cards are down enough, but the drops are nice. You can see Guti was 140, guys, and now he's 115. So these are some nice windows that if you wanted to buy one of these, you want to look at the heroes that look like people are probably not going to pack. Like people may pack Donovan, Rozicki, but not many people are going to get Govu, Captavia, Ledley King. Like these are harder players to pack with how EA does pack weight. So look at that as well, because that's another investment opportunity. I'm giving you guys investment opportunities, things you guys can make coins with as you head into the SBC or tonight. Maybe if it gets the sell-off is too crazy, these cards will be buyable at a certain value. I don't know if they're there yet. But usually what people will do is, yeah, they'll buy them back, and sometimes they go crazy. You'll see, too, like, let's see what the price of Matuidi goes to. But, like, these cards, too, Matuidi and Ramirez usually, they'll go, like, down a ton. Like we're talking, like, 950, right? Like, he's not down enough right now. But they'll go down a lot as people anticipate the SBC. And then right as the SBC comes out, people realize, like, bro, I'm not getting this card, and they go buy them back. So that's a trading thing you can totally do. But I'm probably going to just prepare my club a little bit with some of the coins that I have. And you got to be careful, right? Because, like, if you're at the point where, maybe it's a good time to, like, cash out a little bit on some players and buy back if you think there's going to be a meta crash tomorrow before Rivals Rewards. That's definitely something you could do to kind of preserve your capital and your account a little bit. I know we don't do all that many market videos anymore, but I still enjoy doing the market stuff as we get SBCs and stuff, so you guys are like prepared and you guys kind of get and know what's going to happen. So look, whatever fodder is required will probably go up unless it's super over invested before, which I don't think that's true. They're only up like 20%. So fodder will probably do well. It's probably just worth club stocking. If it doesn't go up, you can just do the SBC or break even, right? And then, I think there's a huge opportunity with some metas as we head into Weekend League that you'll have a good time to really buy your team tomorrow afternoon as people sell off due to this pack. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. That's it. Peace.